Chapter 11, The Shard's Skyline View. On the 11th day of my London adventure, I decided to experience the city from its highest point, the Shard. Standing tall at 310 meters, it's one of the tallest buildings in Europe, offering unparalleled views of London's sprawling landscape. The thought of seeing the city from such a height was exhilarating. Arriving at the Shard, my anticipation grew with each second the elevator ascended. Reaching the observation deck, I stepped out into an expansive glass-paneled room that offered a 360-degree view of London. The sight was breathtaking. The city lay spread out below me, a tapestry of history, modernity, and green spaces, all intertwined and alive. As I walked around the deck, I spotted iconic landmarks like the Tower of London, the winding Thames River, and the London Eye. Each view offered a different perspective of the city, from the historic to the contemporary. The hustle and bustle of the streets below seemed a world away, replaced by a serene, almost majestic atmosphere up here. While engrossed in the views, I struck up a conversation with a person next to me, Jordan, who was equally mesmerized by the sights. Jordan, a photography enthusiast, shared tips on capturing the perfect cityscape. We discussed our favorite parts of London, exchanging stories and viewpoints that only added to the richness of the experience. Jordan suggested waiting for the sunset, promising it was a sight not to be missed from this vantage point. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, the sky transformed into a canvas of purples, oranges, and pinks. The city lights gradually came to life, twinkling like stars against the darkening sky. It was a magical moment, witnessing the day turn into night from above. Capturing the sunset through our lenses, Jordan and I shared a sense of camaraderie, two strangers brought together by the beauty of the city and our desire to seize the moment. After the sun had set, we decided to grab a coffee at the cafe on the observation deck, continuing our conversation about travel, photography, and the allure of urban landscapes. Visiting the Shard and seeing London from such a magnificent height was an unforgettable experience. It offered a new perspective on the city, highlighting its vastness and the intricate blend of its parts. The unexpected friendship with Jordan was a bonus, a reminder of the connections that can be formed through shared experiences. As I left the Shard that evening, I felt a deep appreciation for London and the unique stories it holds, seen and unseen. The city, with its endless layers and perspectives, had once again shown me its capacity to surprise and delight. Chapter 12, A Stroll Through Notting Hill. On my 12th day in London, I ventured to the charming neighborhood of Notting Hill. Known for its vibrant markets, pastel-colored houses, and the famous Portobello Road, Notting Hill promised a day of leisure and exploration. With a light heart and a camera in hand, I set out to discover what makes this area so beloved. The moment I stepped into Notting Hill, the area's unique character was unmistakable. The streets were lined with quaint cafes, antique shops, and bookstores that beckoned with a cozy charm. The colorful facades of the houses added a whimsical touch to the picturesque scenery, making every turn worthy of a postcard. My first stop was Portobello Road Market, a bustling street market known for its antiques, vintage clothing, and unique treasures. As I wandered among the stalls, the air was filled with the sounds of lively bargaining and the enticing aromas of street food. Each vendor's stall told a story, with collections of items that ranged from the curious to the exquisite. While examining a collection of vintage cameras, I struck up a conversation with the stall owner, a friendly man named Oliver who shared my passion for photography. He regaled me with stories of the market's history and gave me tips on finding the best deals. His warmth and knowledge made the experience all the more enjoyable. As the afternoon progressed, I made my way to a cozy cafe suggested by Oliver. The cafe, nestled on a quiet corner, was the perfect spot to enjoy a cup of tea and watch the world go by. The peaceful ambience provided a moment of reflection on the vibrant life of Notting Hill. With a renewed sense of adventure, I continued my exploration, finding myself drawn to the pastel-hued houses on a residential street. The charming architecture and neatly kept gardens were a feast for the eyes. It was on this picturesque street that I met Ella, a local resident out for a walk with her dog. Ella shared her love for Notting Hill, pointing out her favorite spots and the best places for a quiet afternoon read. Inspired by Ella's recommendations, I spent the rest of the day meandering through Notting Hill, uncovering hidden gardens and secret courtyards that seemed to exist away from the hustle and bustle of the city. The neighborhood's allure lay in these quiet moments of beauty, tucked away just waiting to be discovered. As the day came to an end, and the golden hour light bathed Notting Hill in a warm glow, I felt a deep connection to this unique corner of London. Notting Hill, with its vibrant market, colorful streets, and the friendly faces I met along the way, had captured a piece of my heart. Reflecting on my day as I made my way back to the heart of London, I was grateful for the stories, the sights, and the serendipitous encounters. Notting Hill was more than just a neighborhood, it was a reminder of the joy found in exploration and the beauty of connecting with those around us. Chapter 13, British Film Institute Screening. Seeking a cultural evening in London, I decided to attend a film screening at the British Film Institute, BFI, Southbank. Known for its dedication to the art of filmmaking and its impressive archive, the BFI seemed the perfect place to immerse myself in the world of cinema. As I arrived, the vibrant atmosphere of the Southbank greeted me. The area was alive with artists, musicians, and fellow cinema enthusiasts, all contributing to the lively spirit that London evenings are known for. The BFI stood as a beacon for film lovers, its modern facade inviting me in with the promise of a unique cinematic experience. Inside, the buzz of excited chatter filled the air as people gathered to attend various screenings, talks, and exhibitions. I collected my ticket for a classic British film, eagerly anticipating the chance to see it on the big screen. The BFI's commitment to preserving and celebrating film history was evident in the diverse range of movies being showcased. As I settled into my seat in the auditorium, the lights dimmed, and the screen came to life. The film was a captivating journey through time, showcasing Britain's rich cinematic heritage. With every frame, I felt more connected to the stories that have shaped British culture and its portrayal on screen. After the screening, attendees gathered in the BFI's bar and lounge, buzzing with discussions about the film. It was here that I met Theo, a film student passionate about British cinema's history and its impact on contemporary filmmaking. Our conversation flowed effortlessly, as we exchanged views on the film, our favorite directors, and the importance of preserving film heritage. Theo shared insights from his studies, offering a deeper understanding of the nuances of the film we had just watched. His knowledge and enthusiasm for cinema were infectious, making the evening all the more enriching. We discussed the BFI's role in promoting film education and its archive's treasures, promising to explore more of its offerings together in the future. The night at the BFI was more than just a film screening, it was an engaging cultural experience that highlighted the power of cinema to connect people. As I left the Southbank, the reflections of city lights on the Thames accompanied my thoughts on the films that shape our understanding of society and ourselves. Attending the BFI screening was a highlight of my London visit, offering not just entertainment but also meaningful conversation and new connections. It reinforced my belief in the arts as a vital part of the human experience, bringing together individuals from all walks of life to share in the universal language of film. Chapter 14: Exploring the Victoria and Albert Museum. On the 14th day of my London adventure, I decided to visit the Victoria and Albert Museum, V&A, renowned for its vast collection of art, design, and fashion from around the globe. The museum, nestled in the heart of South Kensington, promised a day filled with artistic discovery and inspiration. Upon entering the V&A, I was immediately struck by the grandeur of the building itself, a masterpiece of Victorian architecture. The museum's map highlighted an array of exhibitions, ranging from historical costumes and ancient sculptures to contemporary photography and jewelry. With so much to see, I felt a thrill of anticipation, eager to dive into the artistic treasures housed within. My exploration began in the sculpture gallery, where the marble forms of gods and heroes from antiquity stood in silent conversation. The craftsmanship and emotion captured in stone were breathtaking, each piece telling a story of its era. I wandered among the sculptures, captivated by the skill and creativity of artists from centuries past. Next, I found myself in the fashion exhibit, a dazzling display of garments that span the history of clothing design. From elaborate Victorian gowns to bold modern creations, the evolution of fashion was laid out in a colorful tapestry. Each dress, suit, and accessory offered a glimpse into the social and cultural contexts of its time. As I marveled at a particularly intricate piece, I struck up a conversation with Elena, a fellow visitor with a keen eye for design. She shared fascinating insights into the construction and historical significance of the garments on display. Our shared interest in fashion history led to a lively exchange of thoughts and observations, enriching the experience. Encouraged by Elena's enthusiasm, we decided to join a workshop being offered by the museum. Under the guidance of a skilled artist, we tried our hands at creating our pieces, inspired by the works we'd seen. The workshop was a creative challenge, pushing us to translate our inspiration into tangible art. The sense of accomplishment in crafting something with our own hands was a highlight of the visit. Exploring the V&A with Elena transformed the museum experience from a solitary venture into a shared journey of discovery. As we parted ways, we exchanged contact information, promising to share future artistic endeavors and museum visits. My day at the Victoria and Albert Museum was a testament to the power of art to inspire, connect, and educate. The museum not only offered a window into the artistic achievements of humanity but also provided a space for making new connections and fostering creativity. As I left the V&A, my mind buzzed with ideas and my heart was full of gratitude for the day's experiences, a reminder of the endless possibilities that art brings into our lives. Chapter 15: Thames River Cruise. On the 15th day of my visit to London, I decided to experience the city from its historic lifeline, the Thames River. The idea of a river cruise appealed to me as a unique way to see London's landmarks from a different perspective, so I booked a ticket for an afternoon cruise that promised panoramic views and insightful commentary. The weather was mild and the sky clear, creating perfect conditions for the cruise. As I boarded the boat, a sense of excitement bubbled within me. The Thames, with its centuries-old history, had witnessed the evolution of London from a Roman settlement to the bustling metropolis it is today. The cruise began, and we slowly drifted away from the dock. The guide on board started pointing out significant sights along the riverbanks. The iconic Houses of Parliament and Big Ben came into view, their majestic architecture even more impressive from the water. The guide shared anecdotes and historical facts, making the landmarks come alive with stories of political intrigue and historical events. As we sailed under the Tower Bridge, its massive structure towering above us, I was struck by the ingenuity and engineering prowess that went into its construction. The guide's tale of the bridge's opening and its importance to London's development added depth to the awe-inspiring view. Around me, fellow passengers snapped photos and chatted, sharing the excitement of the journey. I struck up a conversation with a woman named Clara, who was visiting London for the first time. We exchanged stories about our travels, finding common ground in our shared wanderlust and admiration for the city's rich tapestry of history and culture. The boat glided past the modern skyline of Canary Wharf, a testament to London's continual growth and evolution. The contrast between the historical buildings and the sleek, contemporary skyscrapers underscored the dynamic nature of the city. As we neared Greenwich, the guide pointed out the Cutty Sark and the Royal Naval College, landmarks steeped in maritime history. Clara and I decided to disembark at Greenwich to explore more, our spontaneous partnership adding a layer of camaraderie to the adventure. The Thames River cruise was not just a sightseeing experience, it was a journey through time, offering glimpses into London's soul. The stories of the river and its landmarks painted a vivid picture of the city's past and present. As Clara and I wandered through Greenwich, exploring its markets and museums, I reflected on the day. The cruise had provided a unique vantage point of London, connecting me to the city's historical heartbeat. The new friendship formed with Clara was a bonus, a reminder of the joy of sharing experiences with others. The day spent cruising the Thames and exploring Greenwich was a highlight of my London visit, enriching my understanding of the city and leaving me with cherished memories and a new friend. Chapter 16: Historic Pubs of London. On my 16th day in London, I decided to delve into the city's rich pub culture by embarking on a tour of its historic pubs. London's pubs are not just places to enjoy a pint, they are storied institutions, each with its own tale woven into the fabric of the city's history. The tour started in the early evening, just as the city was transitioning from the hustle of the workday to the relaxed ambience of night. Our guide, a jovial man named Simon who seemed to embody the spirit of London's pub scene, greeted us with a warm smile. He promised an evening filled with history, humor, and, of course, excellent beer. Our first stop was a pub rumored to have been frequented by Charles Dickens. As we stepped through the low doorway, I was immediately struck by the warmth and charm of the place. Dark wood paneling, cozy fireplaces, and walls adorned with memorabilia created an inviting atmosphere. Simon regaled us with stories of the famous novelist's inspirations, possibly drawn from the very room we stood in. As we sipped on traditional Alesh, Simon explained the significance of pubs in London's social fabric, serving as meeting places, refuges, and hubs of community life for centuries. Each pub on our tour had its own unique character, from former coaching inns to riverside retreats with stunning views of the Thames. At one pub, known for its role in the development of the postal system, we were joined by a local named Emma, who was intrigued by our group's interest in the historical side of London's pubs. Her knowledge of local lore added depth to Simon's stories, and her friendly demeanor made her a welcome addition to our group. Throughout the evening, as we moved from one pub to the next, the group shared laughs, stories, and rounds of drinks. The camaraderie that formed among us was a testament to the pub's enduring role as social hubs. Emma and I found ourselves deep in conversation about the quirks and hidden gems of London, exchanging tips and recommendations. The final pub on our tour was the oldest, its foundations dating back several centuries. There, surrounded by history etched into the very stone, we raised our glasses for a final toast. The evening had been a perfect blend of history, hospitality, and friendship. As the tour concluded, and we said our goodbyes, I felt a deep appreciation for London's historic pubs. They were more than just places to drink, they were keepers of stories, relics of the past, and still very much alive with the spirit of the city. Walking back to my hotel, the streets of London seemed even more alive, each corner holding the promise of another story. The pub tour had not only introduced me to the history and flavors of London but had also brought me new friends, making the experience unforgettable. Chapter 17, Covent Garden's Performers. On the 17th day of my stay in London, I decided to immerse myself in the bustling atmosphere of Covent Garden. Known for its vibrant market, eclectic shops, and, most importantly, the street performers that bring the area to life, Covent Garden promised a day filled with entertainment and discovery. As I arrived, the energy of the place was palpable. The air was filled with the sounds of musicians, magicians, and acrobats, each corner of the market offering a different spectacle. I wandered through the cobblestone streets, marveling at the historic architecture that served as a backdrop to the lively performances. My attention was caught by a crowd gathered around a street magician. His quick hands and witty banter had everyone enthralled, myself included. As he pulled off his final trick, the crowd erupted into applause, and I found myself cheering along with them. The magician, with a flair for the dramatic, took a bow, his eyes twinkling with the joy of the performance. Inspired by the magician's performance, I continued exploring, my ears guiding me to a classical quartet playing beneath the market's grand arches. The music was sublime, echoing off the walls and creating a magical ambience. I paused to listen, letting the melodies transport me to a different time and place. It was here, amidst the music, that I met Olivia, a fellow traveler from Australia. She shared my appreciation for the performers and the unique atmosphere of Covent Garden. We struck up a conversation about our travels and our mutual love for discovering new cultures through their art and performances. Olivia suggested we explore the market together, and I readily agreed. We meandered through the stalls, admiring handmade crafts, vintage clothing, and artisanal foods. The market was a treasure trove of creativity and craftsmanship, each stall offering something unique. As the afternoon turned into evening, Olivia and I found ourselves drawn to a small, outdoor cafe. Over cups of coffee, we continued our conversation, sharing stories of our adventures and the places we still hope to visit. The easy flow of conversation and the shared joy of the day's experiences made the time fly. Our impromptu meeting in Covent Garden turned into one of the most memorable days of my trip. The performers had not only entertained us but had also created a space for connections to be made, stories to be shared, and friendships to be formed. As I bid farewell to Olivia, promising to keep in touch, I felt grateful for the spontaneity of travel and the unexpected moments of connection it brings. Covent Garden, with its performers and bustling market, had been the perfect setting for such an encounter, encapsulating the vibrant spirit of London. Walking away, I carried with me the melodies of the quartet, the magic of the street performances, and the warmth of a new friendship. Covent Garden had offered me a glimpse into the heart of London's cultural scene, leaving me with cherished memories and a deeper appreciation for the city's enduring charm. Chapter 18: The Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. Eager for a day of tranquility and natural beauty, I set my sights on the Royal Botanic Gardens at Kew for the 18th day of my London visit. Known for its expansive collection of plants and breathtaking landscapes, Kew promised a peaceful retreat from the bustling city life. The journey to Kew was a scenic ride, the anticipation building with each passing mile. Upon arrival, I was greeted by the sight of vast, meticulously maintained gardens stretching out in front of me, a testament to centuries of botanical research and conservation. I started my exploration at the iconic Palm House, a stunning example of Victorian glasshouse architecture. Inside, a tropical rainforest thrived, with exotic plants and trees reaching up to the soaring glass ceiling. The warm, humid air was a stark contrast to the crisp London weather outside, enveloping me in the rich scents and sounds of the tropics. Wandering through the gardens, I marveled at the diversity of Kew's plant life. From the serene Japanese garden with its perfectly pruned bonsais to the vibrant colors of the Mediterranean garden, each area offered a unique environment to explore and appreciate. My path led me to the treetop walkway, where I walked among the canopies of mighty oaks and chestnuts. The view from above was breathtaking, offering a bird's-eye perspective of the gardens and the sprawling city beyond. It was a moment of reflection, high above the ground, surrounded by the quiet whispers of the trees. As I continued my exploration, I stumbled upon a guided tour about to start, focusing on the conservation efforts at Kew. Intrigued, I joined the group, led by a knowledgeable botanist named Helen. She shared fascinating insights into the global significance of Kew's work, from preserving endangered plant species to researching climate change's impacts on biodiversity. During the tour, I met Adrian, a fellow nature enthusiast visiting from Canada. We struck up a conversation about our mutual interest in conservation and the importance of places like Kew in educating the public about environmental issues. Our shared passions sparked an instant connection, and we decided to explore the rest of the gardens together. One of the highlights of our visit was the Hive, an innovative structure designed to mimic a beehive. Standing inside, we were surrounded by a symphony of bee sounds and lights, an immersive experience that underscored the vital role bees play in our ecosystem. As the day came to a close, Adrian and I found ourselves at Kew's Cafe, enjoying a well-deserved rest and reflecting on the day's discoveries. The serene beauty of the gardens, combined with the enlightening conversations and new friendship, made my visit to Kew an unforgettable experience. Leaving the Royal Botanic Gardens, I felt a renewed sense of appreciation for the natural world and the efforts to preserve it. Kew had not only offered a beautiful escape but had also provided valuable lessons on the interconnectedness of life and the importance of conservation. Chapter 19: Shopping on Oxford Street. My 19th day in London was dedicated to experiencing the vibrant retail heart of the city, Oxford Street. Known as one of the busiest shopping streets in the world, it promised a day filled with the hustle and bustle of city life, fashion, and perhaps a few souvenirs to take back home. The moment I stepped onto Oxford Street, the energy was palpable. The thoroughfare was bustling with shoppers, tourists, and street performers, each adding their unique note to the lively symphony of the city. Storefronts displayed the latest fashion trends, technology gadgets, and traditional British goods, inviting passers-by to explore further. I decided to start my shopping adventure at one of the large department stores that anchor the street. The variety of goods was overwhelming, from designer fashion and beauty products to homewares and luxury chocolates. As I browsed through the aisles, I was struck by the blend of modernity and tradition that characterizes London's retail scene. Venturing further, I found myself in front of a quaint bookshop tucked away from the main street's noise. The shop was a bibliophile's haven, with shelves laden with books ranging from classic literature to contemporary bestsellers. The musty scent of old books mixed with the aroma of fresh coffee from the shop's small cafe created an inviting atmosphere. It was here, leafing through a collection of British poets, that I struck up a conversation with Charlotte, a local university student studying literature. She shared her favorite spots in London for reading and writing, and her enthusiasm for the city's literary history was infectious. We chatted about our favorite authors, exchanging recommendations and marveling at the shared joy of discovering a good book. Charlotte suggested we visit a nearby boutique known for its unique blend of British fashion and vintage finds. As we walked, our conversation flowed from literature to fashion, reflecting the diverse tapestry of interests that London caters to. The boutique was a treasure trove of unique pieces, each with its own story. Charlotte's keen eye for style helped me pick out a few items that were quintessentially London, perfect mementos of my trip. Our final stop was a traditional tea shop, where we indulged in the quintessential British experience of afternoon tea. Over cups of fragrant tea and delicate pastries, we reflected on the day and the serendipitous friendship that had formed amidst the hustle of Oxford Street. Shopping on Oxford Street was more than just a pursuit of souvenirs, it was an immersion into the vibrant life of London. The day brought unexpected connections, a deeper appreciation for the city's culture, and a reminder of the joy found in exploring new places. As I bid farewell to Charlotte, promising to stay in touch, I felt grateful for the memories made and the stories gathered, each adding a colorful thread to the tapestry of my London adventure. Chapter 20: Farewell London. As dawn broke on my 20th and final day in London, a bittersweet feeling enveloped me. The city that had been an unknown canvas just weeks ago was now a familiar friend, its streets and stories etched into my memory. Today was about saying goodbye, but also about cherishing the moments that made my London adventure unforgettable. I decided to spend my last hours in London revisiting some of the places that had captured my heart. My journey began at the serene banks of the Thames, where the morning light danced on the water, offering a moment of tranquility amidst the anticipation of departure. Walking along the South Bank, I reflected on the incredible experiences London had afforded me. From the historic grandeur of the Tower of London to the artistic pulse of the Tate Modern, each day had been a new chapter in my exploration of culture, history, and human connection. I made my way to a small cafe overlooking the river, a spot that had become my refuge for quiet contemplation during my stay. As I sipped my coffee, I thought of the people I had met, the friendly barista who greeted me by name, the fellow travelers who shared their stories, and the locals who offered insights into the essence of London life. Each encounter was a gift, enriching my journey in ways I could have never anticipated. With time pressing on, I took a final stroll through the bustling streets of Covent Garden. The market was alive with vendors setting up their stalls, performers rehearsing their acts, and early birds searching for unique finds. The vibrancy of this place, a microcosm of London's diverse spirit, reminded me why the city had so quickly become dear to me. Before leaving, I paused at Trafalgar Square, taking in the majestic sight of Nelson's Column and the National Gallery. The square, a witness to countless moments of history and celebration, stood as a symbol of London's resilience and beauty. It felt like the perfect place to bid farewell. As I headed to the airport, London's skyline receded in the rearview mirror, a tapestry of memories playing in my mind. The city had been an incredible host, its streets a map to new discoveries, its people a testament to the joy of shared humanity. Saying goodbye to London wasn't easy, but I left with a heart full of gratitude for the adventure it had been. The experiences, the friendships, and the lessons learned would travel with me, a part of my story forever. London, with its endless charm and character, had left an indelible mark on my soul, whispering a promise of return. As my plane took off, London became a cherished memory, a chapter closed but never forgotten. The journey might have ended, but the stories, the connections, and the love for this city would remain, guiding me until the day I returned. Farewell, London, until we meet again.